I've had a couple requests about my recommended lenses for the Canon RF mount. There's only two camera bodies at the time of this recording, the EOS R and the RP. That is expected to change in 2020, where we have at least two coming, maybe more, I don't know. Something critical I have to note, there's been some great firmware updates that have corrected many of the problems. The focusing systems are improved. However, if you are a sports shooter, they're not the best tools for the job. I'm not ripping on the cameras. I'm just saying there are more affordable, better tools out there than the R or the RP for very fast moving subjects. With that in mind, the native focusing doesn't become as important. So you can kind of see where this is going. If you are shooting landscapes or people or product shooting, it is very easy to adapt previous Canon EF lenses over to the RF mount using an adapter. That's an absolute must buy. Sometimes they sell it in kits. If not, it's like $100. I've seen them used on eBay. I think that's an absolute must have. It's well worth the investment. Once you have that adapter, you have access to a huge number of Canon EF compatible lenses, not just from Canon, but from other camera companies as well. I kind of like Canon because it recognizes a lot of the lens profiles. The 85 1.8 if you're a portrait photographer, the nifty 50, everybody seems to have one. The 16 to 35 2.8, either of the 24 to 70 2.8s, we're not dealing with a very tight megapixel density, so you could definitely use the version 1 24 to 70. Any of the 70 to 200s, whether it's an f4 or a 2.8, are going to work great for portrait shooting. There's a 100 to 400 zoom, and I don't want to get so much talking into Canon lenses, all the primes, but at this point, in the beginning of 2020, your most affordable options, I believe, because you're not shooting sports, are going to be in existing EF mount lenses. When we start talking about native focusing on the RF mount bodies, the number one lens you should get right off the bat is the 24 to 105 f4. I have shot with multiple copies of that lens, and they have all been incredibly sharp, very impressive build. The feel is, everything about it is amazing. And I've seen those on sale now for about $900 brand new, depending on where you get it. Typically it's about $1,100. The two other lenses that are really affordable, we're looking at the 35mm 1.8 macro, and also the 24 to 240 zoom. It's about $900. Pretty much all the other lenses outside of those three are going to be $2,000 or more. So let's talk about some of these other lenses. There's the 28 to 70 f2. It's almost $3,000. It is a very large and a very heavy lens. In my mind, it is cost and weight prohibitive. It produces outstanding images, but in my mind, I'll probably never buy that lens. Two lenses that are astonishingly good are the 50mm 1.2 and the 85mm 1.2. There's also a DS version of that lens, which stands for defocus smoothing. Both incredible lenses. Again, we're talking about well over $2,000 for both of them. And then we have the recently released RF Trinity, which is the 15 to 35 2.8, the 24 to 70 2.8, and the 70 to 200 2.8. At the time of this recording, we only have 9 RF lenses that are available, and we know from rumors and patent releases that there's another 8 to 10 coming within the next year or two. Sigma is going to have RF mount lenses coming as well. It's going to become more affordable as Sigma comes out with their lenses. Canon obviously is going to have more coming out. In the short term, yeah, if you're not shooting sports, you can definitely get away with adapting over. Take a look at that 24 to 105 f4. Get the adapter EF lenses overs. That's the best advice I can give for beginners just getting started with the RF mount for Canon mirrorless full frame cameras. In any event, if you're struggling to learn either of those cameras, check out videos I have on either one of them. Looking forward to some great mirrorless cameras coming from Canon in 2020. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.